When I first came here, I didn't understand what it meant to be able to progress this place. I was ignorant in the sense that I felt like that if we were feeding children, then we were doing something good. I understand now that, this is a country that has suffered 50 years, 40, 50 years of civil war, has dealt with rebel activity, and even though they're the newest free country in the nation, as of July 9th, 2011, the work is not just yet still to be done, the work's actually just getting started. I've never been more impacted in all my life than to see children that that have experienced the things that we see in movies and shut our eyes and turn our face to, but they've had to actually live it. A young man like Gabriel, who stood right before the LRA, 10 years old, they put a gun to his head and they say, "You're too young and you won't pick up a gun and shoot, so we're going to kill you." And they have to just imagine what it's like to sit there and beg to these people not to kill him. "Don't kill me. I promise you I can carry anything and I'm just as strong as any of your 12 and 13-year-old boys if you just give me a chance to do it." I don't even know what it would be like to do that. Or to be in a situation where the LRA, they come into your town, they've killed all your parents, and then they're going to rape you. What do you say to a child? How do you bring hope to that type of child if they don't already know that when they see you, that you're already there to help save their life? I mean, it starts with them. They're the ones that have to put their faith in you before you can do anything for them. And I think that that's the dynamic that continues to change my life every time I'm there. It never gets old. I never get weary of it. I know that what they've been through, they have every reason to give up on life and to not trust anybody. But they've allowed me to be a part of their life, and they've allowed themselves to open up their hearts and their minds and their lives to me so that I can be a part of something and making them the young men and women that can potentially lead a nation. I don't know what God has planned for them, but I do know this. They are a true miracle, every single one of them. And I'm there to the end. After a very, very bad accident, fell on the interstate going 55 miles an hour, lost my leg, 17 broken bones, 2 days of coma. I realized then and there, that I had been given a second chance. God had truly given me a chance to live the life that I know that He called me to, and I did my very, very best with it. Even though I lost a leg, I had a lot of, I don't know, there was something in me that kept saying that there is more to do, and if there wasn't, you would be dead now. So I took that and I ran with it, and ultimately it brought me here. So for me to come here has been probably the most faithful move I've ever made in my whole life. And I'm just so thankful that I have a wife that is appreciative and understands what's being done here. Because if it wasn't for that, it would make it all the harder. But it wouldn't change what I'm doing right now, that's for sure. The point I'm trying to make is that, you walk away from your business, you walk away from the stability of finances that that you can generate because you own the business. You walk away from your family, not knowing which child, if they all accept what you're doing, if not. And I've had to deal with certain children of mine that basically resent me for what I do. They're like, why would you help these children over there instead of help us, And so there's a lot of sacrifice involved. I've gone to the point where, I almost lost my business during my accident when I lost my leg. I rebuilt it back up to be, very, very comfortable. And now I'm back to the point where I've lost it all again. And I think that one advantage that I have is that I've lost it all before. So since I've lost it all before, losing it this time has not been as shocking or as, as stressful. But at the same time, this is an issue that constantly comes back to one simple thing. What are you willing to do? And I simply say this: whatever it takes. And I don't know what tomorrow holds for me, but I do know that these children need me. I do know that Sam needs me. If you know Sam Childers, you know that this man grew up always fighting another man's war. And here he is again. He's in the Sudan, helping a people that basically the world has turned a cold shoulder to. And I don't mean that in a way that, that there's no other place helping here. You got to turn that caring into doing something about it. And here was a man that was willing to do whatever it took for that something to be done. And here we stand here with a orphanage of 167 children, several dorms, a school, a vocational school, a clinic. And when I saw all these things, I just knew that in my heart that this appointment, this meeting, this man, the machine gun preacher, was meant for me to be a part of it. And I haven't looked back since, I was sitting at an airport back in early 2008, and I was reading a magazine, a motorcycle magazine, because I ride motorcycles. I love Harley Davidsons, and motorcycles have been a big part of my life, especially the motorcycle culture. So I was reading the magazine, and there was an article in there about this man called the Machine Gun Preacher that Jesse James had built this specific bike for, and they were actually going to give it to him. The bike was valued at over $300,000, and it was a gift to him for the work that he does in saving children in South Sudan and northern Uganda. And once I heard about this man's work, heard about the efforts that he's gone through and all the sacrifices that he's made, it just really resigned with me that I found somebody that comes from my neck of the woods, so to speak, and was doing something good with their life, something that was actually making a difference in the world. And so I called the office. I spoke with what I would later find out was Sam's daughter, and Sam was the one that really joined us together. She immediately got off the phone from me, she says, and called Sam and said, "Dad, I think you should call this guy. He sounds a lot like you." And Sam waited almost like 3 weeks, and it just wound up. He was in his hotel room, and he got something out of his wallet, and out popped my name and number that he had taken from his daughter. And he decided to call me, and our first conversation was probably an hour and a half long. We kind of felt like we were lost long brothers.